Journal entry for April 15th and some stuff I forgot. There's more stuff I forgot, but this is just going to be really short video. So, something I forgot to mention, on Tuesdays there's a recovery meeting at a church. And what is mentioned there, it stays private. But when there is an attack on me or something that's significant, then I will mention this. Not saying anyone's name, but they went around in the circle, and there was maybe 20 people there, so and they asked everybody, maybe 15, 20 people. They asked people, what are your highs and lows? So something good and something bad. This is not secret, private information. Though someone did mention there were cameras, so I think I mentioned that last time. But actually, 2 people mentioned their low was not getting enough sleep. Not getting enough sleep. And this is what I forgot to mention, which is when I woke up on Tuesday, I was like in a dream, and a lot of spiritual warfare in a dream. So it was like I was battling enemies in my dream, the feeling when I woke up. And so it was quite aggressive spiritual warfare and attacks in my dream. And then the first thing I went to that day was the recovery meeting. And when they mentioned the highs and lows, 2 people mentioned their low was something to do with not getting good sleep or enough sleep. And that night, I was being attacked in my dreams. So this was a sign. Let's see. So there was some crazy weather the day before. I had plans to meet with the music man, but he mentioned something about rain, and because of that, I did not meet with him. So, and this is something I figured out with the Lord, which is when it rains, that sometimes this is a sign for me to stay home, especially like when it's first thing. So maybe later in the day, if it rains, I'll go out. But like, I was thinking about maybe going to this music class, but I didn't want to be out 5 miles from my house in the rain, so I didn't go to that. I didn't meet with the music man either. Because he actually had emailed me and said that there might be rain, and I think it was sprinkling. So that was my sign. Plus, I stayed up late. Just stay in. Just stay in. But what else is going on here? Though later in the day, I went to the gym. I did go to the gym. I forgot my shower stuff there. Well, I didn't forget it. Someone gave me a ride home. I had planned on stopping at the gym on my way back and picking my stuff up. That didn't happen, so I had to go to the gym and get my stuff. I still forgot something there, so I'm going to have to go back again, probably. So this is the 16th. I'm going to have to probably go back again today and get the stuff I forgot. But I got most of it. So this was really the main thing that happened. They place hairs on. I use the same lockers. I should mix it up, but this does give me a chance to see what the enemy is doing. And God is training me. They put hairs through where the loop is for the lock, and I think when I open the locker door, I get cursed, and then that allows them to sabotage and like tamper with the equipment. So I have to take something. So they use like hairs, and because they're so cheap, and they put it on stuff. So they put it on the locker, that I usually use. Or they'll put it on things where you can't really see it. I saw someone put a hair on the toilet, so if you would sit down and touch the hair, then you get cursed. I mean, this is what these people do. They've got like several people in the gym every time I go just to get me. They probably tampered with the equipment again last time. And then they hop and they use the massage chairs before I can sign up for it every time. So this is what happened. I showed up to the gym and I scheduled like to use this machine. And I entered in to use it. When I walked in, the main manager was there. And then he said, "It'll be a while." And then I signed up for 5:30. And then I went to use an equipment. And then my appointment was canceled. And then I asked the woman, and I said, I entered the time in. I was scheduled for 5:30. And they're like, "Oh, it's not showing up anything." I said, "Can you get the manager?" It's like, "Oh, he just left. We don't know where he is." I'm like, "You go get him." And then she went to go and find him, and then came back and nothing. And so then I just signed up again at 6. and also I signed up for some chairs, and then people came and used them. So like I had to wait for those. So it's fine to wait normally, but they target me. And people like come in, they see me on my bicycle heading to the gym. And then, so they send people to the gym. They drive to the gym, and then they wait, and then they use what I want to use before I can get it, and so I have to wait. And they tamper, and they watch me, and they mess with stuff after I use it. So, and I have informed the staff. I have told the staff. So I think today they were trying to catch people that were framing me, because I told several people. So the manager was there when I walked in, then he immediately left. I have a feeling he was like hiding in the back or something, and they were watching to see what would happen. And some people, when I signed up at 5:30, then to see what they did, and then there were still people standing around watching if people were talking to each other, and then it was changed to 6, seeing what happened, and then I left. And then watching to see is somebody still there. Did they go in after me and mess with the equipment again? So, and I did think, like, I was actually frustrated, and I was concerned because I told them that I was being framed, but I was also concerned that if the equipment was getting damaged, that they might not want me to use it anymore. Like, some believe me, some don't. So, they might not want me to use the equipment if it's getting messed with. Stuff is being put on it after I use it that's not washing off easily. They've mentioned stuff not coming off of the machines. Like somebody was putting stuff on the machines and it wasn't washing off. So apparently they had to try really hard to get it off. I don't know. That keeps happening. And I was actually worried when my appointment was canceled, thinking that maybe they were banning me from using something. But they would have to tell me first. So I'm thinking they were actually trying to catch the people that were going in the machines after me. And this does sound crazy, but I have mentioned a few strange things over the last few months. Not a lot, but maybe once every month I'll mention like, oh, people come in and they sign up for the machines before I can, and I've told them that. And some of them notice this. Some of them do notice this. Not all, but some do. And maybe they caught someone today. Maybe they did. I don't know. But I do think probably one of the staff members is involved. There is a staff member named Paul. There is a staff. Now, I don't know for sure. So this is just what I think. There is a staff member named Paul at the gym. And I don't know how long he's been working there. Maybe not like 2 years or anything. But one of the churches I went to, he was at that church. And a woman that had cursed me at that church and him were standing together. And they were friends. So I just normally assume people are trying to get me. So there is a man at the gym named Paul. the name itself is suspicious. I don't know for sure he's an enemy, but I think he is. I think he is an enemy because, well, his name is Paul, but also he was at the same church I went to, and he said, "Hello, Jennifer," and he knew my name. And he said, "Oh, and do you know where I'm from?" And I said, "The gym." He's like, "Yeah, I'm from Planet Fitness." So when I was at the church, he said that. They have to admit what they're doing. So his name is Paul. Um, there are enemies at this church. Not everyone is bad. That's not what I'm saying. But there are people that run the church, and some of them, they don't like to be corrected. They don't like to push. They just want to preach mainstream blood sacrifice and sexism. That is what they preach, but that's not of God. That's not of God. God is not about men leading women or women leading men. That is not God. That is the teaching of the pagans and the Pharisees. And this is confirmed in Acts 23:6, but God actually directed me to this and has me tell people this. So this is from the Lord. So God has showed me how all of it works. And God is going to raise the low. So the bottom will become the top. So what does that mean? The devils had said, the devils want you to believe that a female cannot be a prophet, which is exactly why God will make females prophets. Because who are they to decide? Because God says we're spiritually equal. But anyways, this church, one of them said something, but they said it in an aggressive way really quick, because I had mentioned this. And then one person walked out and left. And then the other one was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Because I had mentioned to them, like, maybe a female pastor could do a baptism, or, because God wants us to be involved in religion too. I said we're supposed to be stay-at-home moms, but we are also prophets and priests, and we should be involved in religion. And so, they kind of tried to go, like, one of them said something, but they didn't say it tactfully. It could have just been gently, like, just giving the Bible verse. Giving the Bible verse where God is compared to a mother. So yes, there is a Bible verse, but instead of explaining this and sounding aggressive, she could have just put up the verse and not explain it. The verse speaks for itself. But anyways, the man, and there were enemies and witches and warlocks in this church. But that doesn't mean that there's no good people either. There are also good people, but they don't like a true prophet. Anyways, the man that works at the gym also goes to this church, and he knew me. And I had only been to this church a couple times, and I don't even remember speaking to him, so I don't know how he would know my name. I mean, if it was mentioned once or something, I have trouble remembering names. So he was letting me know he knew who I was, and I went to the gym that he works at. So hopefully they caught some people. And then I've got some blue. Does this show up? I'm trying to get this to show up. It's not showing up. I've got some blue toenails. I've got blue toes. Oh, come on! I need to get this. It's not the shade of it. These are like Cookie Monster. No, it's. I've got some blue toenails now. And they're kind of a fun color. They're kind of a fun color. So I have a toenail that does not grow in because I was poisoned, and I believe that when I was married to the devil, I think he might have been trying to kill me. If he wasn't trying to kill me, he was poisoning me, and I was having internal bleeding. I was being poisoned on and off over the years, and I believe he would put stuff in the coffee. He insisted on making the coffee. But anyways, then that is what I believe caused one of my toenails, because my toenails got all messed up. And then even later, one of them stopped growing in properly. So I had to have a fake nail put on. And then that nail is not the color of a regular toenail. And now it's like dark and discolored, and it's like just whatever acrylic it's made of has stained, like some polish has leached into it, and so it needs to be painted. It needs to be painted. It's the shape of a toenail, but it looks like if you hit your toenail with something, it's not good. And even if no one else sees this, I see this, and I don't want to look at that. I don't like feet in the first place. Actually, like, the feet look pretty good with this nail polish on. So this was a lot of money. It was a lot of money, and I would not be spending money on this. As you see, I don't get my fingernails done, but I would not be spending money on this if I did not have, and it's my big toe. My big toe, the nail doesn't grow in. So I can actually see where I've got like a little bit of my original nail, and then most of it is a fake nail. And then I even and I had to sand it down because it looked too fake, and then filled in the gap with super glue, and then it was sanded. So I've got like my nail, super glue, and then fake nail, and they're all different colors. So anyways, at the recovery meeting, there was a woman there, and she just got her toenails done, and she showed me her toenails, and they were sparkly light blue. They were sparkly light blue. She just showed me her toenails, and she told me the name of the place to go to. So then, once that she showed me her toes, she said the name of the place. I knew this was a mission. I have to go there now. The Lord, because actually I got them painted like 2 months ago, and then most of them had grown out, so I have a big gap, except for my big toe. So this again draws more attention to one of my toenails being different than the other. So then after I left the gym, I stopped at this place I was referred to, and I went in, and the woman that ran the place, she was really nice. English was not her first language, but I could pretty much understand, but she seemed like a good person, like very kind, and did a very good job. And I went to a different place before, and like the woman there, she didn't like me, and it could have been witchcraft too, because actually I saw some people on the other side of the business, and I think that there was a warlock in there, so they might have used witchcraft. But anyway, she like stayed away from me the whole time and gave me dirty looks, and then just rushed in and did it real quick and then left. So with that type of service, then I did not want to go back there again. That was like God telling me, don't go here again. The service was really bad. The woman didn't like me, and she waited to the last few minutes to give me a pop. They're supposed to give you a soda right away, but it's almost like she wasn't going to, but then she had to, so she just gave it to me like right before it was done. And she went like to the bathroom and went to different places, and I was just sitting there by myself most of the time. So, and then when she did the foot, she was like really aggressive and sanding it, and it hurt. So it hurt. And I thought this was normal. But actually, the place I went to today, she was so gentle. It didn't hurt at all. It was so gentle, and she did a good job. I'm not saying maybe it looks the same. I don't know. But, like, when I got it done before, it hurt. Like, I tried to do my own nail, and I had already sanded it some, and then they were going over it, like, really aggressively. So this place I went to, it was a lot of money. It was very expensive. Actually, the woman told me it was not cheap. It was very expensive, but she worked hard for the money. She did such a good job. She did such a good job and was so nice that when you can select the tip, I left her a higher tip, even though I shouldn't be spending it. Why would I say I shouldn't be? Just financially, if I look at my bank account, I should not be spending money on getting a pedicure. I should not. I'm trying not to spend money on food. I'm trying not to spend money on anything right now. But my toenails were like growing out, and I had a gap with no polish and then polish, and it's like, this is not good. And then I'm gonna want to wear sandals and things. So this is all due to being married to the devil. I shouldn't have to deal with this. But because I was with the devil, then this all led to a series of events, and he doesn't give me alimony, and I don't have much money, so I had a credit card, and I charged. But anyways, this was supposed to happen. She seemed like such a nice person, and that is rare. I'm not saying there aren't nice people, but like she was maybe wearing makeup, but like if she was, it was very natural, and I couldn't tell. So I like that. But she just seemed like just nice and not too vain. Um, so I think she liked me. And then after I got home, I looked up this nail salon, and there was a phone number with 22 at the end. And then if you add up the last four digits, it was also a 22. And then it said that there was a certain amount of reviews on Google, and the number of reviews was four digits. It was the year I was born. It was the year I was born. So I had 22 and I had the year I was born. So that was my confirmation from the Lord. I went to the website and it had my birth year. I mean, that is four digits, and it was exactly the number. The number was the year I was born. So praise the Lord. That was meant to happen. Also, I'm gonna say, like, back there, I like to have everything clean and put away, but I haven't been able to because of all the warfare used against me and all the damages to my house. Most of my house cannot be used. It's either raining into the house, or there's mice, or just things need to be sterilized. So I cannot use the majority of my house, and so I just got those clothes washed. And I have dogs, and I've got a very big dog, and I've got a crazy dog, and she likes to hop in my clean clothes and drag them and out the dog door and then across the dirty floor. So I have that. That is actually a chair. That is a recliner. And so when I stack my clothes up on my chair, it's like the only safe place I can put my clean clothes. So I'm not trying to make a mess, but I'm saying like there's always clean clothes behind me because they're on a recliner, because it's the only place I can put them where rats, mice, and dogs will not get into them. And I also have a dresser on the other side of me with pants. Now they were out of season, but also some of the knobs are missing, so I can't close the drawers all the way. And so just everything to make me look ridiculous, but the lowest will be brought high. So this is to make me humble, and I am very humble as the Lord makes sure that my plumbing doesn't work, and my house has been wrecked. My house has been sabotaged. It looks pretty sad from the outside. It doesn't look very good. And I've just got like all my clothes piled up on a chair. That's the only way I can do it now because of how much I have been attacked and how much of my home has been destroyed by the kingdom of darkness in the last 2 years. But God allowed all of it, and God's gonna fix it this year. Like I'm ready to move out. I'm ready to go now. Yep, that's it. Thanks for watching.